please?
Yes, sir. His name is James Murphy.
I'm
He
sorry,
it,
his date of
I'm looking for his date of birth right now. It is. There's a lot of papers here. Let me flip through them. Okay. Um,
Okay.
um, um, it's. Let me see it. There's a lot of pages here, sir.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go through. I'm still flipping through pages and looking. Um, I had to find out his name from the protection order here. I've got people who bully me over this stuff all the time. I've been forced to record everything live on my YouTube channel because of the corruption and the bullying by law enforcement and by people like Mr. Murphy.
Okay. Do we know
I'm
where
looking for it.
we know where he lives?
He's homeless. He lives in an RV. It's a Toyota Dolphin. The Toyota Dolphin is the make and model. Um, the
Okay. Know where
the
that RV is now?
do what?
Do we know where he's staying with that RV?
No, sir, I don't. Um,
And when
he
was the last time you had contact with him?
I saw him drive by a couple of days ago, but since the paperwork, he has not come and harassed me. Um, but the thing is that he
God.
filed this petition. You can find the information from in his birthday. It doesn't say his birthday on the protection order, but I can give you the protection order information, and that should be. Oh, it says age 69, ethnicity white. It doesn't have his birthday on here. Um,
Okay, that's okay. So Susan, how old is Susan?
Susan is, I believe, uh, 63. I believe.
Okay, and then I know you said she was transient. Where was the area that she was last staying?
I don't know. I've never gone to where she lives.
Okay. Alright, so Sean,
I have Mr. Murphy's license plate number, however.
okay, that's okay. I don't need that. So Sean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this information over to one of my officers. I'm gonna have them start by giving you a phone call. It might come in on a blocked, private, or unknown number. So
That's the
just
one
be
that my to me, and I was gonna talk to her as soon as I saw her, and I didn't see her, and then I was still waiting on Susan because sometimes she has phone problems, and I was just trying to wait and be patient and be patient. And I was just having to hope that nothing happened, and it's been 5 days, and also Linda's vehicle hasn't been over there.
Uh,
I mean, all their motives are on my fucking channel, and it could be any of them. Let's hope she's all right. But it's been 5 days. When you try to turn in police corruption, especially like Ray Rao was arrested, and he was the sheriff when I first started trying to turn these pieces of shit in, and nobody would sign off on it. Nobody would do their job about the abuse by the sheriff's department here or the police department. The police department. I just got sent around in circles with them playing head games about who it is that I'm supposed to turn it in to while I'm getting fucking bullied by Officer Loffman at the hospital when I tried to turn in Officer Loffman, and I told him that he was one of the officers I was trying to turn in. I mean, yeah, he fucking was nice to me, but he blew me off nicely. I gave him good marks because he did his job. He fucking blazing colors at being nice about blowing me off and not collecting any evidence or trying to talk to any witnesses. I got recordings with Molly and I got recordings with Tom. I got recordings with all of the Scudders. I have recordings with Dallas Palmer. I posted their numbers up so that somebody would, for the love of God, fucking call them and fucking help. Understand that it is betrayal of the public trust by these officers and these agencies that has been the issue this entire time. They don't care who hurts me, I'm a hobo. If I try telling on them, they'll just slander me to the hospitals or the courts. No fucking problem. They'll slander me to my immediate friends and family. Anybody who is associating with me, they'll just slander the fuck out of me. And nobody listens. Multiple people in this town were lied to by officers here in order to try to justify their crimes, in order to deter people from helping me, including telling people that I killed people, that I was wanted for murder, that I was wanted for killing people. Until PD, they did the same thing when I got here. The same fucking thing. As soon as they realized I was trying to turn them in. Right after the first Molly situation with Officer Lotham and Officer Trent Olson. Days. Free, including James Murphy. Because not a goddamn one of you does anything except watch for entertainment. Sitcom. I got 21% battery. I'm afraid to call the station that I need in an emergency call didn't come through, and how often there line. This is a situation where she's possibly been missing for 5 days, and I didn't call it in soon enough. They threatened to arrest me.
No, wait. What the fuck? Oh, come on, bro. Don't do this.
They threatened to arrest me and all that when I call 911. This is not a non-emergency line. This is a situation where she's possibly been missing for 5 days, and I didn't call it in soon enough.
Shit, why is he chasing around missing women? What a fucking weirdo.
They threatened to arrest me and all that when I call 911.
This is for Dawson's soundboard. Around 10 minutes.
Words.
More. Alright. What's your email, son?
I'm afraid to call the fucking cops, goddammit. I'm afraid to call 911. I got 21% battery.
21% bet.
They're probably gonna bully me for not having all of the information that I need in order to show them a picture of her. I can't do much more than let them listen to the sound of her own voice. Alright, so,
Jamie Curtis.
let me see, where the hell is my pepper spray? Alright.
Pepper spray, that's what got him. Just
I
a
got my
fucking
people
prison.
ready.
Fucking big laser pepper spray.
I guess we're gonna call this number. If it's an emergency, call 911. I did the wrong thing. I didn't call it in immediately, but that's because of the circumstances with Susan and how often it didn't come through and how often there was a phone issue with her phone sending it through and with her turning off her notifications because of her getting like
Damn it, I just uploaded it, you fucking... Whoa! The screen keeps shutting off.
They threatened to arrest me and all that when I call 911. This is not a non-emergency line. This is a situation where she's possibly been missing for 5 days.
I just pressed it. Stop chasing missing women, weirdo. Fucking retarded. That shit is so fake. Ah!
Ah. 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 Ah.
Any loafing around. Don't care
Ah.
from scaling that shit cliff.
Ah.
I'd ask you to do it again in a second.
Ah.
Down
Ah. 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 Ah.
What's he trying to do?
Ah.
That's interesting.
Ah. 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 Ah.
This island belongs
Ah.
to Malma.
Ah. 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 Alright, first we're gonna show I wrote the number down. Alright, so I gotta words, Sean. Words. Uh, uh,
Tillamook 911, what's the address of the emergency?
I'm at the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot.
Okay, and can I get your name and phone number, please?
Yes, you may, now that my phone number actually comes up on the caller ID. My name is Sean Schwartz.
Okay, and tell me exactly what happened.
Alright, so, there's a woman named Susan, and she was, trying to help me turn in corruption by the Tillamook Police Department and Tillamook Sheriff's Department, as well as stalking by a man named James Murphy. We've been trying to meet up to get this done for months, and it just takes a lot of time. And in that time, Mr. Murphy has continued to stalk me. The day after she finally was able to make the time to go in with me to try to turn it in, the lady at the victim's advocacy agency with the DA's office, she knows Susan's last name because Susan was there with me that day that we tried to turn it in. We were trying to turn in the corruption with the Tillamook Police Department, and also the rampant abuse by Mr. Murphy, as well as multiple situations that betrayed the trust. The thing is that the day after she tried to help me to turn that in, and it is recorded, she disappeared. She has not gotten a hold of me. She confronted my stalker. His name is James Murphy, so he knows what she looks like.
Okay, so the day after she tried to help you, you've not heard from her since?
I have not heard from her since, no sir. She was able to get a hold of me just before 7 o'clock on September 1st, and there's been nothing since. I don't know who to be afraid of, whether to be more afraid to turn it in to the Tillamook Police Department or the Tillamook Sheriff's Department.
Sean, what is, you say you don't know Susan's last name?
I don't know Susan's last name, but the lady with the victim's advocacy agency from the courthouse does know her name.
Okay, do we know where she lives?
No sir, she's homeless. She lives in the Silver Sob. She's got a friend named Linda who has a white van. The guy who she was helping me to turn in, that she was trying to help me turn in, who stalked me here from Hood River, the guy that she confronted because he was honking at my horn and doing this stuff.
Sean, that's my next question. You said Mr. Murphy. What is his first name?
His name is James.
James Murphy. Do we know his date of birth or about how old he is?
Yes, sir, because the Sheriff's Department assisted him, and so did the judges here, in giving him a free protection order against me. I have it right here in front of me.
Okay, can I get that name, please?
Yes, sir. His name is James Murphy.
I'm sorry, his date of
I'm looking for his date of birth right now. There's a lot of papers here. Let me flip through them, okay? It's, let me see it. There's a lot of pages here, sir. It's a lot to go through. I'm still flipping through pages and looking. I had to find out his name from the protection order here. I've got people who bully me over this stuff all the time. I've been forced to record everything live on my YouTube channel because of the corruption and the bullying by law enforcement and by people like Mr. Murphy. I'm looking for it.
Do we know where he lives?
He's homeless. He lives in a RV. It's a Toyota Dolphin. The Toyota Dolphin is the make and model.
Where that RV now?
Do what?
Do we know where he's staying with that RV?
No, sir, I don't.
And when was the last time you had contact with him?
I saw him drive by a couple of days ago, but since the paperwork, he has not come and harassed me. But the thing is that he filed this petition. You can find the information from in his birthday. It doesn't say his birthday on the protection order, but I can give you the protection order information, and that should be. Oh, it says age 69, ethnicity white. It doesn't have his birthday on here.
Okay, that's okay. So Susan, how old is Susan?
Susan is, I believe, 63, I believe.
Okay, and then I know you said she was transient. Where was the area that she was last staying?
I don't know. I've never gone to where she lives.
Okay.
I have Mr. Murphy's license plate number, however.
Okay, that's okay. I don't need that. So, Sean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this information over to one of my officers. I'm going to have them start by giving you a phone call. It might come in on a blocked, private, or unknown number.
That's the one that my stalkers are calling me from. They may possibly call me over and over and over again, so that I won't know which number to answer, sir.
Okay, well, we're going to get this information over to him. Is there somewhere that he can meet you instead?
I am not moving anywhere. I am right here in the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot, in between the taqueria, Mexican food cart. I am a Honda Civic. That all of the cops here know my vehicle. I'm trying to turn all of them in. I've had many altercations and situations with them where they've taken part in committing felonies against me. They know exactly who I am. Susan was trying to turn in corruption against them with me, so I'm just as afraid to turn it into them, because it's a scary situation, sir.
All right. So I'm going to get this information over to my officer and have them contact you as soon as they can, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Alright!
All right. See, I always want to know all this information about my stalkers that I don't have. How am I supposed to know the names of all of my stalkers? That's the thing my friends don't understand. When they're angry, that they're recorded on my YouTube channel, telling me things that they never once tried to turn into the police. The ones that claim that they did try to turn it into the police, they did so alone, and saved no evidence of it, so it's just hearsay unless they say it. I just have to believe their words, but I have to turn it in. It's enough of these head games, enough bodies have... This is not okay. If they'd stop exploiting my disabilities and give me the rights of a victim. God fucking damn it. But they won't let me get that far because they're too busy exploiting my disabilities. People are fucking dead, for Christ's sake. Don't make me fucking go public, you pieces of shit. I told you, don't make me go public. Help me to turn it in, god damn it. When the crime happens, god damn it. All of these agencies have fucked around because when they wanted to fuck around and not do their jobs, I tried to turn them in. Yeah, they're willing to help out any fucking predator. Any fucking predator who says anything wrong about me. They're willing to believe anything that they're fucking told. Anything that they can use to justify not doing their goddamn jobs. Hood River started this shit with Logan and Shayna and James Murphy by lying to Logan and Shayna and James Murphy. They didn't have any incentive whatsoever to do anything about James Murphy. None. They're the ones who created the situation. They are the ones who created the situation by lying about me to try to get false reports. It's a common tactic. It almost got me assaulted in McDonald's and has almost got me killed because this is a common tactic among every police agency. Every single police agency will make your autistic child or an autistic adult who is alone into a target in order to make an easy bust. In order to enhance their prestige. In order to make themselves look good. In order to coax people into making false reports and false statements. Like Scott DaCosta did, running around and telling everybody that I was schizophrenic. Making sure that he gaslighted me all around town. This ain't the first KKK town I've been to. Now I have to stay here, so I have to pee in a cup. Obviously, I'm not some sort of sicko trying to point my tallywhacker at children. Obviously, I'm not pointing the camera at it. I'm covering up my windows and there's fog over all the rest of them. My back is to the one window that's open. Nobody can see my anything. Having to turn this shit into a crooked fucking police department. This is such fucking horse shit. Having to turn it in literally to the predators that I've been trying to turn in with Susan, and she hasn't had time, and we've mismatched so many times, and then her phone issues. My disabilities are going to be used again. I'm going to get talked over again. Please don't let them talk over me. Please don't let them talk over me. Don't tell me give it to God. Get off your ass, God damn it. Having to turn anything into Officer Lotham is scariest. I mean, that dude is the guy here who refused to do his job when it came to Molly. Allowing Molly to terrorize myself and everyone else in this town for 6 more weeks. Repeatedly, I tried to turn her in. Repeatedly, she pulled that shit. And I'm not the only person that she did it to. I made call after call after call trying to turn this guy in. Tides of Change just wanted to do the whole housing thing. Just like Nicole Vertner wanted to do today. The first part was fine. Yeah, we're trying to turn in corruption. All of these services are taking advantage of me. And yes, it does need to go to the state troopers, the state police. But they say it's not their job. They send me back to the local police. I have to turn in crimes that are committed against me to officers who have committed crimes against me and others.
No problem.
How much battery do I have left? 12%.
What?
I had to post it on the internet. They'll come and harm me and harass me over any little accusation. Because any accusation against me is good enough, isn't it? It's good enough to assume my guilt, not listen to me, blow me over, talk over me, disrespect me, raise your voice, yell at me, scream at me. Any intimidation tactic that you can use as an officer is good enough, isn't it? It's better than having to actually do your job. Like Cody Selhorst. When I talked to him for 3 hours about the abuse from Natalie Bollinger and the people in town who were abusing me, and he didn't write any of it down. He summed it up in one sentence. Typed that he'd talked to me for about 3.5 hours. That's what they call a police report in KKK territory.
The venerable mortal asked only one.
If something happened to her, like what happened to Natalie Bollinger, God forgive these cops. And the way that the news is going to tear them apart, because now I have the ability to record it and have been. Yeah, I have to start my car. There's 2 trucks pulling in right now. Packing up for their deliveries. I don't want to back into them when I back out. All right.
Hello?
Hey, Zach and Sean.
Hey, what's up?
Not a lot. Did you notice I already sent you 2 of them?
Yep, I was just getting into my Facebook and it was wanting me to sign back in and gave me the option to sign in as Rhea, but it wants me to verify that it's me, so I'm just making sure I can do that before I push send, because I'd be curious what she's up to.
Alright.
Because the shit I've seen on her phone while taking her away is not for real. And I know her mom does not watch her ass like I used to.
Well, I am, once you get logged in, you'll notice that both of those were made in the last 2 weeks. There's some that are in foreign languages. I could find them if I could set up my computer, but I can't exactly do that in a busted vehicle in a Walmart parking lot.
I should be able to auto-translate with using Google Chrome.
Well, what I sent you is literally YouTube videos made just in the last 2 weeks by other people on YouTube.
Oh, I got a couple of those already.
Well, what I'm telling you is that there are literally hundreds of them, and I'm sending you, it's been 6 years. I sent you 2 of them just from the last 2 weeks. I mean, I'm sure you can do the math.
You know that some people do that just to create hype on their page. They see a video, edit it a little bit, and just want to try to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is that it has resulted in abuse against me. That's the thing about needing somebody in person, is that I am still abused.
What you can do is contact YouTube and get it taken off. And Google's pretty strict about that stuff, actually. So
see, you're jumping to conclusions. You're jumping to conclusions. You should watch the videos first.
Yeah.
There's also the stuff from the Dual County Sheriff and the stuff that he's been doing. Well, my therapist calls it, it's not paranoia. She calls it hypervigilance. The way she explained it to me is that the way that I describe paranoia and also the way that I describe justifiable paranoia is different. And that's one topic that we touched on. Like, a lot of the stuff that people were trying to pretend was situational, and she's aware that it's situational. And I should probably send you the conversations with her as well. I mean,
I'm not trying to be nosy or anything.
Oh, you're good. I put it on YouTube. It's not like I hide it. I put it live on YouTube.
I even push you if it's something you don't want to share.
Here's the thing, Zach. I'm willing to share about men raping me, so there is absolutely nothing that I'm not willing to share. The only things that I don't share,
but if you don't ask.
There's safety issues with Dallas, so I make sure that I don't. I make sure as best I can to try to keep Dallas safe and to try to keep the kids safe. But it's not just Dallas's kids I have to worry about. It's also my own sister, my own niece. I mean, that's the thing, you know. A lot of the stuff that Dallas has told me, the fact that he doesn't speak out about it really bugs me. And with most people, when they tell me stuff like that and they don't speak out, I just simply don't believe them. Now, Dallas has stuck with me through all of this, so I want to believe him, and I know his situation. I understand his depression. So, you know, in my personal opinion, he was being honest about that. But if he wasn't being honest about it, like, I had to make decisions.
I doubt Dallas would not be honest about something with you.
Well, see, that's exactly the point. When he told me about Scott DaCosta and what Scott DaCosta had done with him, and, you know, that's not okay. And the first time that he told me, you know, he told me it as if, you know, Scott DaCosta had come over there and intimidated the living shit out of him. And then the third time that I spoke with him about it, he tried to make it seem a little more lax, like it wasn't a big major thing, like it wasn't, you know?
Yeah,
and
sorry, Sean, I was making Dallas shit.
Oh, you're allowed. Shit, I don't hide stuff from Dallas either.
That hypervigilant, I can understand that. I take a lot of sedatives at times.
Hypervigilant like means you're always on alert.
Yeah, I know. That's why, I mean, I can read people so well. And the only reason for that, which I look at as a gift, is because of hypervigilance, like the way you're stating it.
the thing
is a form of paranoia too.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
On,
and that's the thing about.
Look it up dictionary wise.
Well, you can look it up dictionary wise. That's the reason that
Facebook, right?
That's the reason that my therapist wanted to make sure that we understood the distinction, is because when you use the term paranoid, people are automatically going to jump to the conclusion of schizophrenia, because, you know, people say all the time, paranoid, schizophrenia, the two words very commonly go together, especially when somebody is trying to discredit you. You're right, they shouldn't.
Because you can be paranoid.
But instead of us arguing the sentiments about how it should be, that's the point, is that everybody that I talk to, they want to, right? But see, here's the thing about that, is that as far as the hypervigilance goes, let me explain it to you how she explained it to me. She explained it to me that when you use the term paranoid, basically what you're doing is it makes people think that you're crazy. You can be paranoid without being crazy, but the way that they write it down so that people don't just jump to the conclusion of crazy is by typing hypervigilant. If you've been raped every time you go downtown and you're hypervigilant every time you go downtown, hypervigilant is a lot different than, in a lot of people's minds, than paranoia. Because see, there's the dictionary definition that we all should be looking up. There's what it says in the DSM-5.
It kind of sounds like a new age thing, though.
Here's the thing.
Like changing bipolar to manic depressive and then back again.
That's not what we're doing. That's absolutely not what we're doing. That's the thing, is that people want to argue the sentiments and they're missing out on the facts. I know how it's supposed to be.
I'm paranoid.
Right.
I'll admit, I'm paranoid. That's what I call it, and that's what I consider myself. I'm a paranoid person.
Right, and see, that's the thing, is that it is still paranoia. I mean, you are technically right about that, but you also have to understand that the terminology used changes it. Like, if somebody is mentally disabled...
Yeah, when you add the schizophrenic after it, that's when it really fucks shit up.
Right, and with people just assuming instead of looking at the facts, like, you haven't had enough interaction with me or enough interaction with any of these scenarios. Even back in the day, you didn't have enough to know if I was schizophrenic or not. See, my mom back in high school, not while I was there. Like, pretty much the only time, I never remember seeing you or any of your siblings at the house. I do remember your mom being there with the church group.
When in the trailer.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you hung out there quite a bit with us. And I mean, you drew mine and Jenny's first anniversary present. Jenny's first anniversary present to me. It was the black and white, and then the colored picture of us. It was a portrait from high school.
Yep.
Paper anniversary. And Nikki even remembers that still.
Yeah, people didn't really like me till they realized I could draw, and I didn't learn how to draw till I moved to Chapel. But all right, so over at Jamie's, for example, that would have been about the only time that we hung out, except when we were hanging out with Brandon. And when we were hanging out, you know Brandon Jeffson.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So here's the thing. When I hung out with you and Jenny, it was always with Brandon Jeffson, and there was usually a Beardsley around.
Yeah.
So the thing with the Beardsleys is that the Beardsleys, they had this game going on with me and Brandon. It started off with a game called Ninja Tag north of the school there. And then after that, it was me and Brandon were, what do you call that? We were civilian anti-terrorist team. And we played that on the Beardsley boys for, I think they fell for it for about 2 or 3 years, actually. So, you know, anytime that I was hanging out with you and Jenny when I was younger, it was basically with Brandon Jeffson. Like, other than that, I was scared to hang out with any of y'all because I didn't really know you. I knew you sort of from church, and I knew who your mom was, you know.
Well, I'm sorry you knew that.
Well,
lots of people want to know that.
Your mom is not much different from my mom.
Yeah, I've met your mom and went to a couple of those meetings, unfortunately.
Yep. But, like, the thing with my mom is that she's quote-unquote mentally ill, okay? She's got diagnoses up the ass. But whenever she's losing an argument, she always pulls the, well, you're mentally ill. You're mentally... No. That don't fix
So it doesn't help. It doesn't mean you're not being logical.
When I say, all right, for example, one of the things that they tried pretending that I was schizophrenic for saying is that after Natalie died, there were 94,000 views on just one of my videos.
Yeah, but who knows how many people watched that 100 times?
But that doesn't matter. The fact is, hold up, see, now you're arguing sentiments again. I said there were 94,000 views. Whether somebody watched it one time or 100 times, if they viewed it 100 times, they viewed it 100 times. The fact is there were 94,000 views on that one video alone. But I was denied access to that video because I was incarcerated. So when I was trying to tell them what was going on, basically, I don't have access to any of the evidence to show them. Now, there were a couple of people there who did look it up and were surprised that I was telling the truth, and they immediately called a meeting together. And, you know, the therapist that I had there, because what Scott DaCosta did, he called up all of these different places and told them that I was schizophrenic. None of them listened to me because he told them I was schizophrenic. They did what he wanted. They literally locked me up on 8 different occasions for trying to turn in Scott DaCosta and his deputies because they didn't want to do their jobs. It is a felony for Natalie Bollinger and her friends to do what they did for an entire year before Natalie was killed. And it's also felonious for them to do any of the things that they did after she was killed. But nobody wanted to do anything. Sheriff Scott DaCosta wouldn't do anything about the repeated assaults against me. And that's the problem, you know. I was forced to go to Scott DaCosta repeatedly after 2018. And the fact is, I was trying to turn him in 2018 because they sent me to Scotts Bluff for trying to turn in his deputies. I was trying to turn in his deputies because they didn't do their jobs. And by his own admission, they didn't do their jobs. Now, you get to also see on my paperwork that he intentionally misled every single situation. He went out of his way to omit information and to omit evidence and to slander my name. All of the people, literally all the people that I was trying to turn in, all worked together to have me locked up. I was in prison, and they had to drop the charges. All they could find to charge me with were misdemeanors. And even then, they had to drop the charges because they were all lies. My paperwork even says that they lost all of the evidence. They didn't lose it, they destroyed evidence. I was trying to turn them into Nebraska State Patrol. Nebraska State Patrol was supposed to come and see me and take a look at my evidence, but the safety situation with the Dual County Sheriff's Department and with Robert Warnick made it so that that wasn't possible. There's also the fact that...
Unfortunately, like from a legal standpoint, unfortunately there's not a lot you can do about a corrupt cop. You would have to find some type of paperwork hidden somewhere.
No, you're wrong. It doesn't have to be hidden. They did this blatantly. I have the paperwork. That's what I'm telling you, Zach. I have it.
I'm saying that they did do all that. I'm agreeing completely. Just for the sake of argument, that I'm agreeing with you completely. If you don't have any evidence to be able to produce in court,
I
unfortunately,
do.
There's not much they can do with that.
What I'm telling you is that I do have the evidence. Nobody's looking at it. Nobody cares. My predators, see, the people who watch those things that I just sent you, the people who watch those things are not very nice. Now, one of them, it was only set up 2 weeks ago. There's only 100 views on it. It's not nothing major. The other one has, you know, like 200,000 subscribers and thousands of views right now. But there's also ones with 3.5 million subscribers, 3.2 million subscribers. I mean, that is a lot of coverage. And they're all selling the same lies.
Are you looking at the channel subscribers, or are you looking at views on that?
I'm looking at the channel subscribers.
But just because there's that many...
I'm aware of that. You're going to tell me a bunch of stuff like I'm retarded. That I need you to understand I'm intelligent. I know there's a difference. I know that there's a big difference between... I know there's a big difference between the...
legal standpoint here.
And that's the thing with...
You would be able to stand on in court.
And
I think the fastest way to get a trial started and that other stuff can come out then as evidence, because they would have to produce that they didn't do it, burden proof,
but
is on you going against them.
While you're busy trying to break it down, I'm trying to fill you in on as much information as possible. If you could stop and listen for a few. I know you want to break it down, but the evidence that you're going to see is going to change your mind. So just keep that in mind. The sentiments thing, we can argue that at a later date. The thing is that the cops repeatedly refused to do anything about repeated assaults, threats, and intimidation against me. They also took part in the threats and intimidation against me. There are many witnesses that I have recorded. I have them recorded on my YouTube. I have them recorded in Facebook Messenger. I have them recorded all over the place. I have over 10,000 screenshots, and I have hundreds of conversations with witnesses that show that I was telling the truth from the start. And that's the thing. I need people to actually look at the evidence instead of telling me what their assumptions are based on not looking at it. When it comes to my videos where I'm venting, as you call it, I'm not venting. I'm fighting hard to get help. When I speak nicely to people, they don't listen to me. They talk over me or start telling me about their own personal problems. And next thing you know, I've been on the phone for 4 hours listening to somebody tell me about their own personal problems. And I didn't call them to hear about their personal problems. I called to help. Some of your personal problems are experiences that are similar. As far as trying to help me, I need people to speak out who are not afraid to do so.
Now you said it to my Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger. I literally just sent 3 links to your Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I got it on my phone, but for some reason it's not pulling up on my computer, which is weird.
Yep, and that has happened a lot. That's something that if I say that stuff happens a lot when people are in communication with me and I'm trying to send stuff, I get treated like I'm making it up.
Somebody's got to know somebody in the FBI who, or higher up, that is blocking shit.
And see, now you're talking and sounding schizophrenic.
That's not paranoid, that's logical.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've been in contact with the FBI and tried repeatedly to get the FBI to do their job. People keep suggesting things I've already done. The reason they didn't work is because I had to do them by myself.
Yeah, you do need help. Doing it by yourself makes you not as...
Makes me vulnerable.
Yeah, and it shows that you have no backing. So they can just wave it off as you're paranoid rather than a factual evidence thing if you don't have support.
Right. And what I've been telling everybody is I have the evidence. I've been posting evidence on my YouTube and on my Facebook for years. It's not just me venting.
Unfortunately, people don't like to watch that stuff.
I know.
Like to see the other stuff.
They only care when I'm screaming. That's why I keep screaming. If that's what it takes to get people to hear me, at least they heard me. If all they're going to remember about it is that I was screaming, well, you know what? They didn't listen when I wasn't screaming. It's not that I didn't speak to them nice. Do what?
That's a really hard route to take, though, bud.
It's not a route that I should have to take. I am a disabled adult. There is supposed to be a caseworker to help me with all of this. There was supposed to be from day one. And you know what? I did have caseworkers, but they didn't come forward. They didn't speak up. They didn't do their jobs as mandated reporters. And everyone in Nebraska is a mandated reporter.
I've never heard of that term. What does that mean exactly?
Mandated reporter?
Mm-hmm.
It means that if somebody tells you that a criminal act was committed against them, that you legally have to turn it in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so in the state of Nebraska, it's supposed to be for children. If a child tells you that they were molested or beaten, you have to make a report, or you can spend 6 months in jail and get up to $1,000 fine. Do what?
Or you're liable too for...
That's right.
Kind of like in cahoots.
Exactly, and that's the thing with me going to all of these people. I did turn it in. I did save the evidence. I do have many calls with these people where I'm explaining to them that I am being abused, and they're telling me things that are against the law. I mean, literally, even... That's the problem, is that I looked this up before I called them. So when they were telling me things that were against the law, I already knew they were telling me things were against the law. You know, when they were telling me, well, this is the way that it goes, and I'd already looked it up, I already knew that's not the way it's supposed to go.
Unfortunately, Nebraska is very backwoods.
It is.
There's a new law. They won't do it unless they feel like doing it.
They don't follow the law. That is how it is.
Yeah. Especially back west here. It's even worse than it is back east.
And that's what my channel is full of. Me speaking out about exactly that. About how a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, you can go to prison, literally go to prison, because a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl wants to pretend like you might do something. Whereas people can actually harm the shit out of you and nobody cares because you're a male.
Mm.
And that's literally what happened too. Go ahead.
What's your need with needing, I want to say it's more of a need of helping women.
It's not just women, it's also men.
Okay, yeah, I'm not trying to be sexist. What's your need for helping? Like, it seems like an internal drive you have.
I grew up in hell. I grew up getting beaten, I grew up being molested, and I grew up in places where there was no getting away from it. So when people are going through that and they need to get away from it, well, goddamn everybody who's not willing to lift a fucking finger.
Yeah.
When I was a kid...
Well, that's just about everybody.
I am the hero as an adult that I needed as a kid. As a kid, I needed someone who was literally willing to go to prison to protect my rights.
Yeah, but that's gotta be a better way.
That's exactly it. The better way is to have someone in my corner, someone who can safely hold my evidence and actually do something with it. Dallas said that he's fine with holding it, but he doesn't have the mental capacity to go through it. That's not something that I can hate him for.
Oh, I'm willing to argue a losing battle.
Me too.
And sorry if I get quiet at certain points. I'm watching your videos too.
That's all right. I can hear it. I got some videos.
Mustache,
do what?
I like your mustache though. Oh, man, that's hard to get long.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you look Asian. It's kind of cool.
Well,
I always try to look at the bright side of things too.
I actually haven't watched.
Too depressing for me.
I haven't watched either one of the videos that I sent to you. I can't watch them. They lie through the whole things on all of them, and the few parts that they get right, they still misconstrue as something else. It does make me sick.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I mean, I can relate to some of what you've gone through, but I haven't gone through near what you have.
You know why I moved out of Dallas? You know why I moved out of Dallas the first time? I moved out of Dallas the first time because Harley ended up getting busted with the kids in the car with all of that bullshit. And me and Dallas had discussed it on more than one occasion before, that his kids come first, and they absolutely do.
Yeah, I would agree there. That was very mature of you and very understanding.
Absolutely. But the other thing is, it wasn't my choice and it wasn't my decision. That was all on Harley. Now, Harley said that she would speak to me about it, and she eventually did. It took her over a year to do so. But when she did talk to me about it...
She did that.
Do what?
You're lucky she did that.
Man, I knew she'd come around. I really did. And that's the thing. Like, everything that I needed her to admit to, she admitted to. I don't need to post it up on Facebook and YouTube. It's fucking not necessary. She was not somebody who was intentionally trying to hurt me. She did harmful things because of something that was beyond my control. It's not my fault, but I don't hate her for it, not even close. I don't hate let me put it like this. I have to pretend to hate people. I don't like child molesters. They should be locked up in prison.
God. No worse than that. I'm not that lenient.
Well,
There's no fixing a sexual predator.
I've known enough people who have gone to jail or prison who were not guilty that I can't condone the death penalty.
No, not death penalty. But I mean, when there's overwhelming evidence,
in that case, it's different.
Crime, it needs to fit, like neutering or something.
See, I want that. I have been begging for people to take my balls and my penis. Literally, it's on my Facebook. I am not a sexual person. I never cared about sex. The only time in my life I actually ever cared about sex was with Jamie. It's because I was losing my best friend. She was my best friend at that point, and she wanted to have sex with me when she was drunk, and I wouldn't do it. And then when she was sober, she didn't want me. So I was like, if you don't want me when you're sober, you can't have me when you're drunk. And she said she respected that. And then she got drunk and had sex with everyone else. And then came and told me about it.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, I didn't want to actually date her. I didn't want to have a girlfriend. I wanted to learn about women. That's what I asked her for help with. I was like, hey, I need help understanding this. And, you know, most of the time she just told me stuff like, Sean, women change their mind more than they change their underwear. Or, Sean, you know what, women are crazy. Or, Sean, I can't tell you what women want because women don't want what they want. Don't know what they want. And basically everything that you hear men say horrible about women, Jamie has to say horrible about women as well.
I don't know. I deal better with women than I do men. But I was raised by two very dominant women.
You know, I do better with women than I do men as well. But that's also... All right, you know that men commit suicide at 5 times the rate of women, right?
I thought it was only 3.
5. 3 in
I
Australia.
the other day, it was 3 times. But yes, it's still more. But women threaten more.
That's because women are more likely to get listened to. They threaten to get heard, whereas men finally give up. They know they're not going to get heard. Our society is a female-dominant society that we pretend is a male-dominant society. My stepdad is not a human being. He is my mom's personal bitch.
I was going to say, it was taken away from men through the 70s and the feminist movement. Like, one thing I did that really made my mom mad, but she could not argue the point with, was putting the toilet seat down. She would get so pissed. Put the toilet seat down. No. You taught me that we are equal sexes. If I can lift that seat, you could damn sure put it down. And I was like 9. And
I agree with that. But I put both seats down. I always put both seats down. If I have to lift the seat, they have to lift the seat. I'll make it easy for them. Because there's... Yes, sir.
I'm listening to you on the news. Man, they're really berating you.
I told you, and here's the thing, is when people wanted to...
Unfortunately, the way you look makes you look... Yeah, now they're saying you're a junkie.
That's right. Have you ever known me to do drugs other than pot?
No. No, I was actually surprised to hear that you drank.
I didn't drink. I quit drinking in 2001.
No, I meant at all.
Oh. Yeah?
Ever, yeah. I'm surprised.
I was drunk through all of high school.
From knowing you. You did? I thought you...
Yeah, you remember Larry and Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I bought Larry and Doug alcohol, they'd provide for me.
Oh.
They lived right across the street.
Well, that was a coping mechanism at that point.
It was. but I also broke free of it.
I recognize that.
I still broke free of it. People in chapel were horribly mean. And
well, just like with my DUI, I had only been drinking 3 or 4 months. And it was because Robin Bev wouldn't give my kids back. And Jenny begged me not to confront them myself. She would handle it, which I knew she would. And so my way of coping with it was drinking. Was that healthy? No. Was it better than going over there and yelling at Rob's dad and taking my kids back? No. But at that point, I had given up on our marriage on trying to fight her parents controlling her.
Well,
That's
here's the
basically
thing.
what it came down to.
I know how it makes me look when that's the only parts that they pick and pull out, but the fact is, I tried nicely for an entire year before Natalie was killed. I tried extremely nicely to get help. I tried extremely nicely. I typed everything nicely. I didn't expose her secrets. But the thing is that the things that she was claiming that I was slandering her name about, after she was dead, it was proven those things were true. Her dad did molest her, and she was on heroin. Those are the things she was claiming was slander. She went out of her way to use the mentally ill tag to convince people not to listen to me.
But yeah, she confided in you.
She confided in me years before. See, that a lot of people, it's the timeline that's messed up. People think I stalked Natalie in Colorado. I didn't know she was in Colorado. And in Virginia, I've got evidence that proves that she invited me. They denied me the right to face my accusers in court, kept on using the mentally ill tag as an excuse to deny me my rights, and they can't do that. Or it's illegal for them to do that. And that's the thing, is that they broke the law blatantly because they knew they'd get away with it. They've been getting away with it because the closest I've had to help, actual help in person, is being over at Dallas's. And over at Dallas's, I'm constantly afraid that the cops are going to come over there and harass him or harass me. I'm afraid that Harley might come over drunk and start a fight. I'm worried about all sorts of stuff. And I already know that Dallas isn't going to speak up. He's afraid to. He's already admitted that. He's already voiced that. And like we already agreed, his kids come first.
Yeah, yep, very much so.
He already knows that if I thought for one moment that he was abusing his kids, I'd have done something about it years ago. He's not abusive towards his kids. He is a very loving father. I have never, ever seen him do anything abusive to them, ever.
No. No, I haven't either.
And I also know that Dallas is real hard on himself, and he blames himself for a lot of things that he didn't do that aren't his fault.
Yeah.
And he says sorry for a lot of stuff that's not his fault. And I know exactly how that feels. That's how people who are used to being victimized, that's how we cope. We say we're sorry for everything.
Yeah, it's hard to get over that, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Proof of that. I mean, that's why I've always said I'm the asshole that God meant me to be, because I got tired of dating him. So what did I do? I became an asshole. But I was also raised by my mom telling me, "Oh, you're not my son. You're my friend. Your opinion matters just as much as mine." Get that line of bullshit. You know.
With me, it was you're grounded for the rest of your life. Go to your room.
That sounds like me with Rhea, though. But she did some pretty crazy shit, and there was nothing else we could do for her. Like, I mean, we took her to the hospital, the ER, when she was cutting. I had to search her room, and she threw a fit, and then Cooper didn't know what was going on, came out. Me and him got into a scuffle. And instead of me taking him to the ground, because he would have hit his head on the fish tank, or if I would have went the other way, the kitchen table, I went down myself. You know, so he thought he was the man then.
Yep.
And then it just escalated from there. That was the only altercation me and Cooper have ever had. Physical.
I want to let you know.
Supposedly, I'm physically abusive, mentally abusive, and emotionally abusive to all three of them.
I don't know. I haven't known you well enough for that. I'd say the The closest you could have to thinking that I was paranoid is, you're probably right. That situation when I was hanging out with you and Jenny, the only time we ever hung out was with Brandon. I mean, I didn't go over to your house other than that, except for that situation with my sister, and that was an emergency. But, I mean, did I or did I not come to your house, knock on your door, and tell you exactly, well, I told Jenny what was up.
Yeah, no, I've never thought any different of you. I've always remembered you as the same person I met. And nothing I've heard or seen has changed my mind. I mean, you've grown as a person and changed, of course. I know that.
I had to become an asshole because being nice wasn't getting
still
hurt.
there. Your core person's still there regardless.
That's
just
exactly
like, unfortunately, I'm oversensitive, whether I want to admit it or not.
Well, the thing is, if you watch that video, I want you to keep in mind, Rob Gavigan has 3.2 million viewers, or 3.2 million subscribers. And although not all of them have watched the video, the fact is that over 1 million of them have. There's also...
yeah, this one's 500,000, 3,000, or 3,500.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm telling you is that that's a lot of coverage. And there's a lot, if you go through the comments there, you'll notice I have been commenting. When people want to say that hateful stuff, I type at them exactly how it actually is. When I
wouldn't even argue with them. That, unfortunately, that almost opens up more guilt than... Because
I'm not telling you about advice.
Explain yourself.
I'm being abused, and I need help stopping the abuse. I'm being abused because of the slander that these people keep on repeating. I'm trying to show actual evidence. The actual evidence isn't just me speaking about it. It's actual evidence. A lot of it I can't post on YouTube or Facebook because I will get Facebook banned or I will get my YouTube channel taken down. There's a reason that the evidence that's not up is not up. That's why I keep trying to show it in person. Now, there's a woman named Mandy Hughes who has verified some of it, but we only got through a tiny portion of it. When I am literally screaming at the top of my lungs like that, I am screaming for help. At that point, I am overwhelmed. I have been abused to the point that I am having a meltdown. I am having a mental breakdown from the abuse. When you say don't reply to those people...
That's why I say it's healthy. That's why I say it's healthy, because if you didn't, you would either hurt yourself or...
But I'm not doing it to vent. I'm doing it to get heard, to try to get help. When I talk nicely, people blow me off. They tell me things like, oh, you just need to let it go. You don't get to let this go. And you can see that.
Some people blow you off. Have I blown you off?
You're not blowing me off. We're having a conversation. We're actually talking like human beings. Obviously, I'm, heightened emotionally, but you already know what that's like. You're aware of what that's like.
But I haven't had to deal with it to the extent that you have.
My problem is I'm having to deal with people's assumptions. They didn't look at the evidence. They believed what they were told. The people in Chapel, Nebraska who have been abusing me for the last 5 years over this, because, the people in Chapel didn't abuse me over Natalie being dead until she was dead. That was 5 years ago. But the abuse from Natalie and her friends...
about it until after she had passed.
Yep. The abuse from Natalie and her friends has been going on since over a year before she was killed. And that's the thing. I mean, I had my friend Mandy sit down and read every single message between me and Natalie. That's the first thing I asked her to verify. And she did. Yes, Natalie thought she was in love with me. And I get how people go, oh, well, you're an ugly old man. Well, I don't know what she saw in me either. Maybe because I was nice to her. I don't know. I know that I wasn't...
You're probably real with her.
Well, I'm real with everybody.
She could talk to you. And that's really what a woman wants.
Well, her family was not okay with it. The problem that me and Natalie had with being friends is that because there was an age gap, because I'm an unattractive male, and because I'm older than her, they assumed that it must be a sexual thing. And she said, my family won't understand. And I got that.
I mean, Jenny's parents hated me, and I knew that from the first time I met them. And I told her all our 18 years of marriage and 3 years together that her parents hated me. And she's like, oh, no, you're just imagining it. And then after we finally got divorced, her parents said, "We're so glad you're done with him. We never liked him." And I told her, "I fucking told you so."
And see that
I was lying to you. I was serious.
when Brandon got married to Lisa, all right, I told him, I said, "Lisa hates me. She does not like me. She does not like me." He's like, "Oh no, she's fine." And then after he got a divorce, he's like, "Yeah, dude, I was just trying to be nice. She fucking hated you the whole time. She just wanted me to get rid of you." And I'm like, "Well, see, I knew that." It's the built-in lie detector, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Like
the
I
thing
said,
with,
when you've
you
been
know,
years, you know how to see that coming or recognize it.
and I do.
I mean, people being fake to you is, yeah, you see right through it. Like,
But when I call them out on it, they pretend that I'm lying. I have had over a dozen people that I got rid of in the last month that wanted to call me a liar for something that I posted up the evidence already. That's where they're screwing up. These people are dumb enough to believe that I didn't save the evidence to begin with.
See, the internet's a fickle media because so many people don't believe anything but the bad. The bad's a lot easier to believe than the good.
And
You
it's
know what
also
I mean?
based on their bias. I mean, if they believe
Why
that
do you think the news posts murders and all that stuff going wrong and wars? Because it gets more ratings than the good stuff happening in the world.
that's right.
Nobody's going to talk about the good stuff you did for her. They're, of course, going to talk about the bad you might have done.
A lot of people, they like to
Right.
throw in my face that they helped me years ago as their excuse for looking away when hundreds of people were a part of this situation. Hundreds of people were a part of this before Natalie died. Between the friends that I had gone to for help, the officers I had gone to for help, the friends that Natalie had gone to, and the officers that she had gone to, like, there were hundreds involved. When it came to the people who were threatening, harassing, and assaulting me for over a year before she was killed, like that,
Yeah, but do you think they're going to want to admit guilt?
they don't have to
Basically
admit
what-
guilt. I have the evidence. They don't have to admit anything. I have the evidence. I need help showing the evidence. They don't have to admit to shit.
Okay, but we do paper evidence too. I mean, just showing a judge YouTube videos.
No.
That
See,
screenshots
you're
that it's gonna
assuming
help.
I don't have literally thousands of pieces of paper. Let me,
No, I'm hoping you do.
dude. All right,
I'm hoping
I
you do.
I have video after video on my YouTube channel of the massive pile of evidence. Yes, there are literally thousands of pieces of paper evidence. I have everything I need. The problem is I am constantly moving, and every time I get somewhere new, I have to pull it all out and reorganize it again. And then once it's organized, I can start going through it. But I keep on having to move because of safety issues.
Okay. Well, I've been looking at lots for sale.
I don't have any money.
A couple here near Chapel. There's actually one that I really like that's out near Road 173 and 18. And they want $18,000 for it. There's power right by it.
That's all the way up north by Nelson's place. Like, that's past Morgan's.
Not that far off. Because I lived on 173 and Road 28. That's where I grew up.
I must be thinking the wrong direction then. Because I thought Morgan lived on...
Lower is south.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the second turn. You go 173, and it's the second turn. I believe it's the cemetery is on your left. You would take a right, and about a half mile down is the property.
Yep.
So really in the middle of nowhere. You'd be a mile and a half, and then there's
Well, if I had the money to do
3
so, I'd
miles
be down.
from either highway.
Right now, I had a guy in Colorado send me $120 today. That's what I have to work with.
How are you living on your Social Security? Aren't you trying to save with that? I mean, like
They took away my disability, and I had to call them up and get it reinstated yesterday. They're not going to pay me till Wednesday. It's $800 and something a month, but it's not enough
Won't
to
you
live
get
on
back
when
pay?
you're on the streets. No, I won't.
Won't you get back paid that'll help you?
No, because
Yeah,
they
you
only
get your
cut me
at
off
least.
for they're only cutting me off for a couple of days. The back pay that I had was all taken and spent. That's the thing about all of this. People have taken advantage of me. When I have money, they pretend they're going to help me, and then I jump through the hoops to get the help, and when my money's gone, they throw me away like I'm garbage. They're taking advantage of me, and I can't do anything. I need somebody to help me with that stuff who's not going to take advantage of me, and I also need someone who is going to help me pursue these people who have taken advantage of me, because that has torn apart every part of my ability to defend myself. I mean,
I'm more than willing to, as long as I know I can help you win, or at least give it my best effort with the proper evidence and everything like that. I mean, you know what I mean? I wouldn't promise you something I'm not going to give you. I'm not
the thing about the YouTube videos, when you were showed my YouTube videos,
I have so much saved.
When you were shown my YouTube videos, which ones were you shown?
I was shown, actually, the one I only watched part of it, was the one Jenny sent me where you were going off about, what?
Exactly.
The church and stuff.
Now, did I threaten to kill him?
Honestly, I didn't watch the whole thing. I turned it off, and I told her, why are you freaking out about this? This is a healthy outlet for him, you know?
Well, I didn't threaten to kill him.
Put it like that, because but she said that her dad was talking to the cops, and you threatened to kill him. It was my fault for not watching the whole video.
So he literally lied to the cops.
Stood up for you.
So he literally lied to the cops.
Yes, from what I understand from Jenny. And Jenny thought you were going to kill him too. And yeah, she completely turned on you, and I'm like, okay, why aren't the cops arresting him then? Well, the cops are scared of him. I said, why are the cops scared of him? Well, because he's schizophrenic. I said, I don't care if he's schizophrenic. I'll go over, pick his ass up, talk to him.
And that's the thing, is that I'm not schizophrenic. I'm not schizophrenic. I need you to get that out of your head right now. I need you...
Okay, I understand that now. But I mean, if I would come to you,
If I'd have told you this stuff today without sending you what I sent you, you'd probably still think that crazy shit. But now that you've seen it, is that different than me just talking about it? I mean, that's actual evidence that the things that I'm saying about these groups being created, those groups are still making these videos. When I have people that are assaulting me in chapel, they're saying the same things that people are typing in those videos. They hold the same hatred and the same bias. Do what?
They're slandering you.
Exactly.
They're assaulting you.
No, they're assaulting me. Robert Franklin Warnick assaulted me twice. Okay, Joshua Rayborn assaulted me. Those were actual assaults. And the only reason that I can tell you those is those are the ones whose names I know. I don't know all of their names. When Christopher Kurth and Carl Snell threatened me not once but twice, one of those times Laura Nelson was right there within earshot.
But my point was with the whole thing was, yes, I did not know the whole story, but I knew you well enough to know that if I came over here and talked to you, that I could probably get you help one way or another. I wasn't scared of you. If the cops are fucking scared of you, they don't need to be cops, is what I told her. I said, that's fucking ridiculous.
The cops do need to be scared of me. They're scared of going to prison. That's what they're scared of. They committed felonies.
I said if they're that scared of him, why don't they call him the state troopers and the FBI and everybody else if he's that much of a risk to everybody in the town? I literally told her that.
How many people had I assaulted?
And it pissed her off. She wouldn't talk to me for a week.
One of the things that they tried claiming, they didn't let me defend myself. They didn't call any witnesses. They tried claiming that I was walking through town with a hatchet or with an axe, so that meant that I was trying to kill people. Did anybody die with an axe?
That's not illegal.
It's not illegal, but they were doing that to try to pretend anything that they could pull out to try to pretend that they were being victimized. I had that axe for a reason. I got that axe from Chris Stegeman. He gave it to me so that I could do work at his dad's house.
If you're mentally ill, it's not illegal for you to walk around with a loaded gun unless you've been denied that privilege because of a felony. That's the only way you would not be allowed to do that. You know what I mean? that's much more than acts, like, you know, in terms of, what do you call it, ability to commit a crime, you know? So regardless
These people aren't
being mentally ill or not, you having a weapon walking through town is not illegal.
But it's not a weapon. I have to use it against someone or something, you know, that's living in order for it to be considered a weapon. I used it against trees and stegomens. They didn't bother to ask for a
Using the
stegomen.
weapon to give them leeway, to even give them a little bit of bait to nibble on. They can call it whatever they want, by definition. A weapon, a tool, whatever. It is not.
But we're not arguing the sentiments here. I'm just telling you the
facts.
facts.
You to have and carry around town.
And that's exactly the point. I didn't do anything illegal through that. Nothing illegal. Everything that I did was legal.
Regardless of your mental status, regardless of what the item is, unless it's a bomb or, you know, something illegal.
Oh, I had that too. I just didn't have it assembled. And I didn't have it on that particular occasion. I had a bomb for blowing my head off where Natalie killed herself. That's what these people drove me to, and that's what my friends drove me to by not caring. You should ask Dallas about the phone calls that I made to him while I was in prison. You know, he kept on telling me he's a horrible friend, and apologizing over and over because of his fears and because he didn't answer the call because he was having his own personal problems. And yes, it fucked me, but I understand Dallas. I understand his fears, and I understand that if somebody has that anxiety, you can't force them out of it. That'll only bottle them up worse. And Dallas don't deserve that.
Yeah, no. He's not in a position to just take it. I am, because I have no family. I have no kids. I've been disowned. Judy and the kids have disowned me after it's weird. The whole story, I had a billion person or something.
Is Rod a pedophile?
And this is about you, not me. I'm disowned by them, and that's fine with me. So I'm on my own. I'm free bird, so that's why I'm willing to help. If I still had them to worry about, it would be a different story. I'm sorry. I would help you as much as I could, like Dallas did, but I would have my limits. Right now, I got nothing to lose.
And see, all of that is stuff that I've been explaining since the beginning. You're talking about all the dynamics I've been explaining. I've been explaining to people that these are the issues. A lot of people with families offered to help me, and then they were threatened, harassed, and intimidated. Dallas really got lucky on the amount that he took.
With intimidation.
Do what?
But yeah, I heard they did it. I don't do well being intimidated.
Neither do I. That's why I yell for help.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this shit beat out of me too many times that I'm not afraid to stand up for myself.
Neither am I. The thing is, I'm going to prove to you that Natalie and her friends stalked me. I have the evidence, and from the very start, if somebody would have taken a look at that evidence, none of this other stuff would have happened. I'm also going to show you videos of officers who are literally in prison now, or in jail, or have been on the news for repeatedly assaulting me, who I wrote down their names. I wrote them down when they assaulted me first. I have video footage of several of them assaulting me. See, that's the problem with the police, is that when you try to turn in the police, their protocol...
Have you tried contacting the media?
The media slandered me first. Yes, I'm going to show you that I have every suggestion that you're going to make. I can show you I've tried. I can't do it alone.
Well,
That's the problem with
you
the...
covered your bases.
Yep, I contacted the media. The media slandered the shit out of me, and then they literally went out of their way to treat me like shit for trying to contact them.
See, with about $150, we could do an every door direct mailer. And I'm almost serious about that. The price is about right for that town. I know that from working at Aaron's, doing flyers and envelopes, you know.
Well, there's two things that are important for me. All right, first of all, the situation at Dallas's and Harley's, I can't hide that. That's not something that I can hide. It's because of that shows that Scott DaCosta, I have over a dozen people that Scott DaCosta intimidated, just so you know. I've recorded over a dozen people telling me that. So I have the evidence. It's a matter of someone listening to it.
Technically, it is legal for them to be intimidatory to get evidence, to gather evidence.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not okay for them to threaten, harass, or intimidate somebody for trying to turn in their predators. Once you see the situation, it's not. I saved the evidence. When I say that all right, when I sent you that, I told you that those 2 videos were made by other people. That's because they're made by other people, right?
Yeah.
Are those on my YouTube channel, or is that somebody else's?
This is yours, 106 views.
Oh, you're watching mine now?
Hitman on Craigslist. Yeah.
No.
Called Hitman on Craigslist.
That's not one of mine. Somebody else made that video. I didn't make that. I didn't make that video. I sent that to you because someone else made it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make those. I don't know how to do any of that fancy stuff. I told you I was going to send you stuff that other people made. And that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
I sent you 3 of them.
I haven't watched yours yet.
And the third one was about my little sister getting threatened and followed by the Dual County Sheriff's Department. That was the day that she went... Do what?
When I tore up my mom's house because of her drinking and not letting have custody of Dakota, Dallas covered my ass like an awesome brother he is and cleaned it up. But Paco knew what was going on, and technically he harassed Rhonda because he asked her 3 days in a row exactly what took place that night, and her story changed 3 times. So technically that could be taken as harassment. You know what I mean?
This is a lot worse. What they did to Dallas was worse than that.
I know it's worse. I'm not saying it's as bad. I'm just saying it could be seen as harassment to certain people or a certain judge. That's the whole problem.
And what I'm telling you, the evidence,
jury trial.
The evidence that you're basically you're assuming that I don't have, I do have it. Nobody would look. I've sent it out to many people. That's the thing. My autism advocate.
I always plan for the worst first.
Right, and
That's just my nature.
I plan for people to end up talking about themselves, their own personal lives, and their own things while I'm trying to tell them what's gone on. I don't want you to believe me.
That as an example.
What I want you to do is just listen to the story, and I'm going to send you the evidence of all of it. See,
I'm not real great at not questioning if I don't understand something, no.
Like if I say that somebody threatened to kill me, I'm not going to send you a video about me talking about it. I'm going to send you the actual threat. I'm going to forward you the actual threat if it's across the emails. I'm going to take screenshots.
One of those, I could actually do something with that.
I've had them for years. That's what I'm saying, is that I have had them for years. Nobody would look at them. Nobody would help me to get them seen, not even my autism advocate, and she's not an accredited advocate. And that's right there. They allowed me to have the advocate because legally they have to, but then they wouldn't allow her to do any of the things that an advocate is supposed to do.
Have you ever filed paperwork on your own to get a trial started?
I have. I've had to go in and turn in that stuff to Scott DaCosta. My legal paperwork...
No, that doesn't sound right.
That's not who it's supposed to go to. It is illegal. It is illegal. That's the point that I'm making, is that they told me and made me do illegal things knowing that they were illegal.
Mm-hmm. That is illegal because that would be like evidence, and you're giving them grounds to fight it before it's even brought to court.
All right, let me explain it to you like this. Before every single time that they pulled this stuff to have me locked up for trying to turn them in, I said on my Facebook and on my YouTube, so that it was public, so that people did know what my intent was, I stated loud and clear, repeatedly, that my intent was to get a day in court against them. And in all of this, they keep ignoring the fact that I spoke out. I told them what I was going to do. And because of that, they took steps to prevent me from doing those things. Similar to Rod and Jenny trying to pretend like I'm threatening to kill them. Do what?
Yes, it is. I agree with you there. Definitely. The bad thing is you need to not do it on YouTube. YouTube is still not seen as a credible source. You know what does that?
I'm speaking out on YouTube. I'm speaking out on YouTube, and I'm making my videos on YouTube with the intent of them being used as evidence in their entirety. This is all to try to do something about this screwed up situation, because you and I are not the only ones who go through it.
A lawyer would tell you not to do that, though.
And I agree. I agree that they would, because I've heard them say it. I've also stated, and everything that you're going to tell me.
Civil charges would be easy as fuck. I could walk into bar and file civil charges against the Costa for you. I would just need to get you here by the court date.
And if I go there for the court date, they'll arrest me and prevent me from going again.
On what grounds?
They'll make something.
I would like to see that, because I would be the one representing you.
Well,
you
they
can have anybody represent you.
They have done so repeatedly. They have established a pattern of it. When I speak out on my YouTube channel, it is public. It is for everyone to hear. I tell my intent for a reason. When I go into court...
But do you think a judge is going to hear that, unfortunately?
A judge doesn't hear anything. The only thing that they have allowed in court is hearsay and lies and slander. They won't allow evidence in court. They won't allow me to show evidence. They won't allow my paperwork to make it...
I'm pretty sure I could get it submitted for you. I'm confident on that factor, that I know the legal system well enough to get a civil court case started. I can't do a criminal because I'm not a district attorney, I'm not a state's attorney, I'm not like that. But I could definitely easily start a civil trial. Whether we win or not, there's no jail time. And it just makes him look bad. At the very least, it can let you present your evidence.
Here's the thing about Jenny saying that I'm schizophrenic. She's slandering my name.
Okay, but I said the same thing, but...
You did, and you slandered my name too. The difference is that you're actually looking at the evidence. You didn't do it maliciously. You didn't do it as an excuse. You didn't do it. You didn't do it to try to justify something that you're doing that's wrong. Do what?
I'm PTSD, bipolar, and agoraphobic.
So you're afraid of wide open spaces.
Huh?
You're afraid of wide open spaces.
No, I'm agoraphobic, as in I'm afraid of people.
Ah. I'm scared shitless of them, but they
like small, little groups.
They told me it's social anxiety disorder, but I guess there's probably differences between the two because both of them are in the DSM-5.
I think they're switchable definition-wise, but they change that shit all the time, you know? Just like you said, with the being psychotic, schizophrenic. No, that's not right.
The point with leaving up all of the evidence, I'm not hiding anything. Leaving up the evidence that I screamed, there's a reason that I leave that up. Because I have all of the evidence that I did everything else first. You know, what are the 3 steps they teach you as a kid? What if you're being bullied, what are your 3 steps?
And what?
If you're being bullied.
My dog was whining.
If you're being bullied, what are the 3 steps that they taught us growing up? What are you supposed to do if you're being bullied?
I didn't follow them. And that's why I did well.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is that I did follow them because they tell you to do things that don't work. But if you don't do those things, they pretend you didn't try. The first thing you're supposed to do is go to the bully and tell him how it makes you feel and ask him to stop. And what do? Oh, did Sean forget to put on his big boy panties today? So then you're supposed to... See, this isn't about you. But go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to change it on me. I'm trying to tell you what did I tell you at the beginning that I did? I moved from school to school and made sure I didn't get bullied. I figured out who was going to try to bully me, who thought they were the big shot.
And see, that's the thing, is that I knew all of this before I got started. I knew all of that before I got started. I knew what I was up against before I ever got started. Just like I knew exactly what I was up against when I first started rescuing drug addicts. I didn't start rescuing drug addicts because they were drug addicts. I started rescuing those drug addicts because they were homeless. Now, the drug addicts that I had helped before that, I helped them out because they were in abusive situations. Not everybody that I rescued was Miss Perfect. Not everybody I rescued was Mr. Perfect. And, of course, you know, I grew up with drug addicts. My whole family are a bunch of drug addicts, although I grew up in the system with a different set of drug addicts.
I think I remember saying that one time.
While most people get molested by their parents, I was molested by the other kids and some of the staff in the places that I was at. They didn't put me in nice places. I was the minority in most of the places that I was at, with few exceptions. The few exceptions were almost just white people. And they were very nice places.
I would apologize, but I know it would just come across as shallow. That's why I haven't.
You understand.
Not because I don't feel for you. Yeah. But I know there's nothing I can say that can make it better.
When Mark is over at the house and his wife is over there and she's saying ignorant things like people who are autistic don't have emotions. No, you're confusing an autistic person with a psychopath.
No. Yeah. And I've been accused of being that too. But that's because I try to rely on logic rather than my emotions, because I found it helped me through life easier as an adult.
And have I not always been a logical person? Until this happened with Natalie, people did not see these desperate situations out of me. They didn't see me act out of desperation like this before the whole situation with Natalie. Before Natalie was killed, I was already going off the deep end. I couldn't see my support network. I am autistic. I cannot defend myself. I have to have my support network, and they cut me off from that. So at this point, I've been through 6 years of abuse when I am entitled legally to actually have somebody help me and assist me with these things, and they have done everything that they can to deny that. Now, when you start listening to the conversations between me and Marcia Estrada, that's my caseworker, or my therapist, she's licensed. She can diagnose me as schizophrenic.
Where's she out of?
She's out of Scotts Bluff, but she goes to Sydney.
What's her name again?
Marcia Estrada.
Estrada, okay. So the lady I see is out of Scotts Bluff, but her name's Deanne, and she actually lives at Gurley. She's great. She is fantastic.
Marcia's pretty great too. The problem with Marcia is that her coworker, because it's a two-part system. First of all, it's
this lady's
you have to have a therapist and a caseworker. The problem is that my caseworker is Penny Cooper, and she didn't want to do her job. Now, since Penny Cooper is a coworker of Marcia Estrada is actually her boss. But I took it to Marcia Estrada, and rather than dealing with the situation properly, she backpedaled.
Okay.
So she's protecting her own, and that right there I'm not okay with. Now,
okay. One thing, I think we're getting a little off topic here.
We absolutely are.
Was, regardless of whether you are autistic or you are schizophrenic, has no bearing in court if you have this evidence. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I do have the evidence.
They can throw it at you. They can throw it at you, but it's not going to stick.
Do you wonder why it is that they've locked me up 7 times in just Dual County alone, and I am still free? None of their charges stuck?
You didn't have proper representation.
I didn't. I didn't have proper representation. They dropped the charges literally every time because they had to. 7 times, and all 7 times it is shown that I had expressly stated my intent to turn them in.
Well, that even more goes towards a civil case. to be able to.
And that's what I've been trying to explain to
And
you.
it is bullying.
You keep on going off on your own tangents and changing the subject a bit, and that's the thing that I was trying to explain to you earlier when you
You're
first.
talking about wanting to build the case, and that's where I'm looking at it as a legal aspect.
Right, but at the same time, you need to understand the story. That's one of the most important aspects of it, is first you listen to the whole story. Once you've heard, the reason that I was able to help people so well, actually help them, instead of just throwing a bunch of ideas at them, I listened to their entire story if they wanted to tell the story. And at the end of it, either A, I've already figured out what it is that they need and they tell me what they need, or B, they just tell me what they need. So by the end of the story, there's always little stuff that prevents them from being able to do things that you assume should be easy. And you need to understand that those little things do actually exist. They're called mitigating circumstances. If you are illegally prevented...
What kind of help do you need?
I need help stopping the abuse.
A civil trial.
A civil trial is a start, but there's going to need to be a lot of them. Zach, I can send you hundreds of threats against my life. I can show you the whole network of the Bollinger family, and right now I'm even working with a woman who... If you want to know about human trafficking, go ask a homeless woman. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just ask somebody who knows.
Your sister, if you were to ask her about human trafficking, she could tell you horror stories.
Yes, I'm sure she's a prostitute.
I know.
On the boulevard. I'm pretty sure. But, yeah.
And that's not something I was wanting to bring up.
But unfortunately, that's what she wants. Or that's where she's at. She wants the drugs more than all the chances that the state has given her. And I can't believe the state's given her so many chances. She needs to do some serious time in probably 5 years and get herself shit straight. I mean, she might not even that. She might be like her dad, always running from the law, moving from state to state, across the country, changing his last name. I mean, unfortunately.
You know how many days I spent calling hospitals when I found out she was missing?
Yeah, I did hear from Nikki that you tried to help a lot.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, I've always loved everybody in your family. You guys have always been nice to me. And, you know, other than a few limited interactions, you know, I really didn't know all of you as well as I would have liked to get to know. But I remember you guys from church. I remember your mom more than any of you. And Coda.
Sorry about that.
I definitely remember Coda, and I'm going to tell you why I remember Coda. I remember Coda because ever since I was young, I was like, all right, I better not tell anyone he's gay.
Oh, yeah, we all knew. We all, as kids growing up, knew he was gay before he did.
But you grew up with Todd with his gay hating until he found out that Coda was gay.
Well, he even had trouble after that. He had trouble coming to terms with it for years, really admitting it to himself.
Well, the hateful stuff that I heard out of Todd, you know, right outside of the church about gay people, that made me... there was no way that I was gonna... That little boy didn't deserve it. Now he's a grown-ass man, and because I fucking sheltered him like a dumbass, he's fucking... thinks he's God. He knows better than you do.
Yeah, trust me, Todd's got around and around.
Oh, I'm talking about Coda, thinking he knows better than everybody else.
Oh, yeah, no, I love arguing with Dakota. It was hilarious. Just like he hated that thing I wrote about the church. He had my sister call me.
Yo.
And he's like, I'm calling you because Dakota asked me to. She's like, I think it's great what you wrote, but Dakota's really worried about you, so I'm calling.
The thing is, you know the people that I'm talking about. You understand my concerns with them. You understand my concerns with Mark. You understand my concerns with Dallas and Harley.
Small town politics and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Dallas...
for you to be probably in Gilbert or someplace smaller like that.
I can't go to Colorado. That's the thing, is that Natalie's death, it was in Colorado, and here, it was nationwide. After I was assaulted... All right. I need to explain to you how this got all fucked up after her death. I had people that were willing to help me, and I had people who had tried to set up GoFundMes to help me, which I can also prove that I was trying to get GoFundMes started before Natalie was killed. I needed help. I was trying to get help and take her to court. I can prove all this. But I went to my friend Miss Peach's house. That's Kayla Trujillo. And when I went to Kayla Trujillo's house, she was going to help me with that after dinner. She had just had back surgery. I have back problems, and I can show you the medical stuff on that too. And I should probably also show you the part. I can prove to you that Natalie was just outright lying the whole time. She completely misrepresented.
I was going to say that by that name alone, like, and making judgments on the person, and I don't know them.
Well, the thing is that after she died and it was on the Denver news, everybody in 100 miles of, well, several hundred, because everybody in Chapel watches the Denver news. Everybody in Scottsbluff, everybody in McCook. I mean, all these places that I have been in Nebraska and Wyoming as well. Rawlins, Wyoming gets Denver news. Cheyenne, Wyoming gets Denver news. When I say I am recognized everywhere I go, that's not a joke. Now, then there's, when I say that many of these places, they have literally millions of views on them, and there are literally hundreds of these things. That's just on YouTube. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, this is not stuff that I'm just speaking out about. When you found out about one video from Jenny, I mean, you didn't know about all of the evidence I've been posting. I've been literally posting actual evidence, actual conversations with actual witnesses, where they're speaking about being threatened, harassed, or intimidated by the police, where they're speaking about other people threatening to kill their children, where they're talking about other people who are also pretending like they were going to help me and telling me, all right, Sean, this person, the reason that I left is because at this point in time, this person was literally threatening to kill me. And I didn't know what to do. And that person who was threatening to kill them later on, because they were pretending to be my friend, were claiming that they were going to help me in ways that they didn't. I can prove that the predators that I was trying to turn in the Bollinger family slandered me in court. They were allowed to, and I wasn't. The issue is that they keep on separating me from the evidence. I was trying to turn in Scott DaCosta. I had it set up so that I could meet with the Nebraska State Patrol. Him and his deputies and their safety issue that they had created made it so that I couldn't actually go to that appointment. The other thing is that they wanted to take all of my evidence. They said, if there's evidence of crimes on there, we have to take all of your evidence. I said, well, here's the thing. I'm going to try to make copies of it. And the officer, or the Nebraska State Patrol officer, this is years after this is supposed to have started, they were finally going to come see me. And they knew that I was trying to turn these people in, and I was trying to show evidence of the crimes against me by DaCosta and all them. And they were supposed to...
protect cops.
Right, exactly. But they were also... She was supposed to talk to her supervisor and call me before the appointment, and she never did. So my autism advocate, and I've got all of this recorded, my autism advocate was coordinating with me to try to get me safe so that I could safely turn these people in. My autism advocate has seen a whole lot of evidence. The problem is that there's so much of it, it's a jumbled mess. It has to be gone through.
I knew from the very beginning, because the only person you're supposed to turn evidence like that into is a lawyer that's representing you.
Well, I haven't had a lawyer.
You're required to
I was trying to turn in...
kind of evidence to.
Zach, you're missing the point. I was trying to get a day in court and show the evidence there. That's
I understand
everything that I've done.
I do understand where you're coming from. You thought you were doing the right thing, but by law, the only person...
No, I didn't thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I had already tried everything legally that you're supposed to do. I'd been denied all of my legal rights. I had to do desperate things to try to get help, Zach. I had nobody on my side. Dallas was scared. Harley was scared. Harley was working together with Robert Warnick before I went to prison.
Lawsuits, it's because they have enough money to drag this shit out in court.
Or they have somebody who is there in person. I am a disabled person. They call me mentally ill, and they can deny me all of my rights. So when you call somebody...
I tried that a person with my divorce, and I never even heard from them once.
Do what?
I tried calling them legal aid for help with my divorce, and I didn't hear from him once.
You're a
So
male.
I spent 2
What
days
did you
reading
expect?
Everything I could on it.
You have to have someone do it with you. That's 100% of the time when people are denied, I explain to them, you got to do it with somebody else. And some of them tell me, all right, well, I did go in with somebody and I was denied. And I ask them, was this your first time being denied? Yes, it was. Well, this is standard procedure for them to deny you the first time for disability. And that's the thing about having experiences with all of these things. You also have experiences with them. You know how they're supposed to work.
I was denied the first time. I'm talking about legal aid. People who will
I know. And see, I'm not getting them confused. The reason that I'm bringing them up is because all of these different agencies, I've contacted all of them. Legal aid.
You're still supposed to return your phone call and say, we cannot help you. They didn't even do that.
What I'm saying is that they all told me to go call somebody else. All of them are under the impression that it's somebody else's job, and it's not, and that needs to be corrected. There's also the fact that if it says on their website and they are subsidized by the United States government and its taxes, they need to do it as advertised on their website. If they advocate for the disabled, they need to advocate for the disabled. If it's adult protective services
got a phone call back.
and a grown adult who is not treated like a grown adult, people treat me like an animal, all right? The only safety I had in chapel was Dallas's house. Did you know that? Did you know Robert Warnick assaulted me right outside of Dallas's house?
I heard that there was an altercation. I didn't hear any details.
Yeah, there was a couple of altercations. The first one, I was trying to turn in Scott DaCosta to the Nebraska State Patrol, and I'd been doing so for years. And the Nebraska Attorney General's office told me that who I needed to contact was the FBI. The FBI has been ignoring everything. They told me I have to get a hold of the Nebraska State Patrol. Nebraska State Patrol told me I have to get a hold of Dual County Sheriff's Department to turn them in. So then, I go back through the line. I call up the Nebraska Attorney General's office. I say, hey, here's what's going on. They tell me you have to call the Nebraska State Patrol and they have to investigate it. So you call them and they send out an investigator. They have to do this within 24 hours. They have to contact you because this emergency, blah, 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 blah. They had some jargon for it, and I don't remember all of the jargon. I do apologize. This started years ago.
No problem.
But the point is, they told me that Nebraska State Patrol is the ones who are supposed to do that because there's no police department in Dual County. Since there's only the Dual County Sheriff's Department, the Nebraska State Patrol is supposed to investigate it. So they told me I had to call Troop E. I called Troop E. I was told to call Troop C. Troop C told me to call Troop F and Troop E. And they had me calling all of these different troops that all told me that it's not their job for literally years. And then, yep. So December 16th was the 6th time that they had arrested me for trying to turn into Costa. I was making the phone calls to Nebraska.
Check, but there could be a statute of limitations. That might have been part of why they were doing it.
That's exactly why I was trying to get Dallas to help. That's why I was trying to get anyone to help. That's literally why I've been screaming at the top of my lungs that there is a time limit. There's also the fact that it's because it's been ongoing, there is no time limit. They have literally been preventing me from turning them in since 2018. And they have repeatedly broken the law to do that. Since I have evidence of it, the fact is, because I have evidence of it, and because Rod Wright has evidence of it, and because that body cam on that officer was on at the time, all of that needed to be shown in court. I needed help, Zach. Like, you are the first...
I've seen too many of those videos. I've binge-watched for 3 days the videos on cops pulling over people and doing illegal shit. So, body cam being on doesn't mean shit. I'm sorry to say. They can erase it. They can
I know, and that's why I record it, Zach. That's the thing. You're not telling me anything I don't know. All you're doing is reinforcing everything that I've been screaming on my YouTube channel. If you listen to my YouTube channel, the stuff that I'm screaming is literally what you're saying. You can also go back and notice that I said it many times before I streamed it.
It's not going to be the best outlet for you to get this accomplished. It's going to
You said, no. What you're not understanding is that it is media. All right? It's the only media that I have access to. What I'm doing is showing evidence, showing the truth, showing proof, and showing that I was treated completely differently. When people yelled at me, it was okay. It's not okay for me to yell. When people assaulted me, it was not okay. But they want to twist my words and pretend like I'm threatening to assault people when I'm not. They did this to me repeatedly. But I never made it as far as court because my public pretenders wouldn't do their jobs. So I have to take them to civil court to show this. This has been ongoing for 6 years. I literally have to have someone who cares about me before any of this will happen. Unless you've been homeless, this is a lot of stuff you're not going to understand.
That's a very good point. That's just what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, I can almost guarantee you I could get the news involved, Denver, whatever, if I called and said that I know of a homeless guy or that I am trying to help and he's being, mistreated in our small town. He's autistic. That right
That's exactly the point, is that if I say it, I'm not heard because I'm autistic. But if you explain it...
Yeah, and I'm very eloquent. I'm pretty eloquent when I want to be.
That's what I needed at the beginning. I had the evidence, I just didn't have access to it. I was forced into homelessness and separated from it. All I needed to be able to do was to show that I'd been trying to get help and nobody would help me. They all had good ideas.
Taken from it. Once the media gets involved, they have no choice but to do something about it. Whether it's discipline the cop, which is a slap on the wrist, which
right.
You can still go after.
But what I'm saying is that they weren't going to do it for me. The lawyers explained to me before Natalie was killed, I was getting a hold of them. They explained to me that because they're calling me mentally ill, that I am going to need someone in person with me before even the lawyers can talk to me.
I was going to say mentally ill if we go with the schizophrenic or the autistic, whichever you're more comfortable with, or both help. Let them sort it out.
Here's the thing. I tried to get diagnosed as schizophrenic.
I don't mean that. I don't mean any offense by that. I'm just trying to draw attention to you like you want.
Exactly. Do you know why Marcia Estrada would... Hold up. This is important. Do you know...
two different groups at your back.
Do you know why Marcia Estrada would not call me schizophrenic? She states outright that I'm not schizophrenic. This is no joke. And I'm going to send that to you too. The reason that she would not call me schizophrenic is because she saw proof. I had proof in my hand when I spoke with her. I had the evidence to actually show her.
I seem lazy.
But I told her, hey, if you're going to, please, if I'm schizophrenic, call me schizophrenic. Diagnose me as schizophrenic. That is help. That allows me to automatically, never mind what the DSM-5 says, that automatically makes it so that I am what's called a, not just an at-risk adult, there's a special name for it, developmentally disabled. If you are schizophrenic, you are developmentally disabled. And that's what...
Exactly.
Way back before Natalie was killed, Tamara was supposed to be helping me with the developmentally disabled paperwork because then it would make it a felony for Natalie and her friends to continue to stalk me and threaten me and continue to assault me.
Yes, because you were unable, supposedly, to take care of yourself, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
I am unable to take care of myself. If it hadn't been for Dallas, I would not be a... Dallas saved my life. I literally can't take care of myself. Ask him how doofy I look going up the stairs. That shit hurts. And it took me years.
Those are steep stairs.
Well, and then there's my knees. Dude, the cops abused the living fuck out of me repeatedly. And then they, like you were saying about the body cams, that's why I needed someone there in person. I have been screaming for someone there in person for years. There are people in Chapel, Nebraska who know all sorts of stuff about this. But then again, like people like Chris Stegeman. Chris Stegeman can verify that I was back there in his dad's backyard chopping down all of that crap back there, and I was using that axe for it, and he did give me that axe for that purpose. And Dallas can verify the fact that he used that axe. He likes his better. He went and got one out of the shed he dug out.
Oh, that one with the tape around it. He's got one with electrical tape around it near the head.
Yep.
Out there in the block right now.
Yep.
It makes me laugh because I've done the same shit.
That's the thing, is that I'm not saying things that are untrue. Everything is verifiable, and I've saved the proof.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just trying to make sure that we could prove it.
Dallas told me that if I recorded him, that he would stop being my friend. Now, I have recorded him. He's walked in several times while I've been making videos. He knew I was making a video, but he was drunk. So he already knew that he was recorded. Whether he remembered it or not, I don't know. But the situations with him fighting with Harley, I did absolutely record those. I had to. I'm not going to have him going to jail or prison for being assaulted by her. Does that make sense? But the fact is, it also shows that Harley was over at Robert Warnick's. Harley had an issue with me. She had all sorts of, I guess you'd call them reasons at the time. We had an issue over Dallas. We had an issue over Dallas. She thought that I automatically chose Dallas' side, and I didn't.
Jealous over anybody. She gets jealous when Dallas would hang out with my family.
And Dallas explained that to me. He said, it's a jealousy thing. It's not your fault. But the other thing is, I'm not going to ask him to go testify to her jealousy issues in court, but that does make it an unsafe situation, and he knew it, and I knew it, and we did the best that we could. Like, when I say that Dallas put himself out, he put his neck out there for me the best that he could. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like my brother.
Dallas is a fucking badass. Anyway, I have recordings of one morning.
Sean agrees you're stupid SOB.
Do what?
You said that sounds about. I said Sean agrees that you're stupid SOB, and Dallas said sounds about right.
Tell him I love him, please.
I'm joking with him.
No, I really do love Dallas.
I don't think he takes anything I say seriously.
That's good, because I don't think he's a dumbass. But the point with Harley,
brother, so I can call him that.
the part that I have recorded with him, it's not on YouTube. It's never going on YouTube. It's never going on Facebook. It's important because it does show that the people that were angry with me at the time were coordinating and were working together. And the situation with, like, they were arguing over whether or not she was over there at Robert Warnick's cheating on her. And the thing is, it was right after Robert Warnick had assaulted me, and, you know, he knew that there was an issue with Harley. There's somebody in Chapel, Nebraska, when I make a video, they don't tell, there's literally hundreds of videos of me talking about how wonderful people were, the wonderful things that they were doing. And then there's one video where they did something fucked up and I said something about it. Nobody ever sent them any of the good videos. They only saw that one where I was admitting to something that they had done wrong. And they did do it wrong. You know? When I said that, when I tell people that I've been assaulted, I'm not, that's never been something that I've ever had a delusion about or imagined or anything of that nature. But when you're the odd man out in Chapel, Nebraska, people assume the worst. They assume that because you're different, you must be a violent schizophrenic, or that you must not know what's going on. I grew up in the fucking system, and I grew up in the cities, and I grew up on the fucking streets. I knew better than any of you motherfuckers. No offense.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you there. I was pretty privileged.
But like I said, the stuff that I have to show you, Dallas hasn't looked at it. He's not able to look at it. He has his own. You know him. He wasn't like this before, and I wasn't like this before.
Well,
do you remember?
Like I said, I wouldn't be volunteering to help you if I actually had a life of my own. Like
every one of these people
risking something
who wants to pretend like I would hurt them, like literally the only thing going through my head at that point is, dear God, nobody take advantage of that, and I better do something to protect these people. If I am hundreds of miles away If something happens to them, nobody's going to blame it on me, but they have. While I was in prison, my friend Christine overdosed on fentanyl, and because of the rumors with Natalie and them claiming that I'm some big drug dealer or some crap like that or some junkie, you know.
So you definitely don't look like some big drug dealer.
So I've got people in Colorado who are harassing me for killing somebody in Colorado that I could not have killed because I was in prison. And then they're telling me, and you best not be talking shit. And people always want to do that. It's not shit if it's the truth. And if I can verify it and I can show it, it's the truth. I have dozens of videos with witnesses where I have asked them, did this happen? Or am I schizophrenic? Yes, Sean, that happened. Why do you keep asking me that? The reason that I keep asking that is because these are the situations that people pretended I was schizophrenic for saying that they happened. So those people...
I was not meaning it as anything against you. I was meaning it as a positive way to help strengthen a case.
Right. No, see, I'm
autistic, same thing.
Right, and see, that's exactly what I've been saying this whole time, is that somebody has to pay attention to that. I've been contacting him and telling him myself.
Facebook with it.
I
know you need to vent and you need an outlet. But
it's not about venting or having an outlet, though. It's about educating and making sure it's out there. I've tried the legal way. If I can get it done the legal way, it doesn't have to go on Facebook and YouTube. The stuff with Dallas.
Something like that would be more helpful. Written, verbal. You know what I mean?
And see, I've already done both of those. I've done both of those. That's what I'm explaining to you, is that people want to ignore the ones where I talk. That's why I scream. If you go through my videos just on my Facebook, you can hear 2 of them where I screamed today, but you can go back through the last 3 or 4 weeks easily and hear me talking.
I'm not telling you what to do here.
I know.
I'm just trying to give you good advice.
Well, you're trying to give me advice based on an assumption that you have. This is the best media that I have. This is the evidence, and this is also me speaking out. I'm aware of that.
I don't want to sway people toward my opinion. I'm not trying to sway you. I'm trying to convince you how to help yourself the best I know how.
The best way that I can help myself is by getting someone else to actually help and to actually do the speaking out. That way I don't have to, because I'm not any good at it. When I am overwhelmed and I am scared and I am shutting down. But the thing is, they have to be willing to speak publicly. They have to be willing to verify publicly what they've seen. If I show you this stuff, would you be willing to get on my YouTube channel and say what you've seen?
Not on YouTube. I would write pages or something like that. I don't think I'd be comfortable showing my voice unless I was on actual media. Until I was on actual media, then I would go on YouTube after that.
And what I'm telling you is that this is probably going to result in actual media. The reason for my YouTube channel and speaking on that is to get people to actually look and entice the media to actually care, because the media slandered me all sorts. The reason that they're blackballing me.
Edit it and chop it up and turn it into the crap that is making you look bad.
Exactly, and that's the point, is that you are aware of that. That means that you can point it out rather than asking me to take it down. You're already pointing it out.
You shouldn't do it. So, like, if you do want me to post a video, if you want me to help you, I can definitely watch a video for you and tell you you need to temper this down to get your message across, or maybe try this route to convince people. I can be helpful that way too.
I'm not going to need that. If I've got somebody who's willing to help me fight this and is willing to speak out publicly, that's all I need.
Like I said, I don't mind speaking out publicly, like in a public forum, in court, on the news, but I don't think I'd be comfortable on YouTube until, other than saying this person needs help, stuff like that.
Why not?
Simple stuff.
Why not? If you saw evidence,
I don't want to get chopped up and end up being posted as much too. I'm already posted his nuts around here.
And see, that's the reason that I needed help instead of having to do it that way. Everything that you're offering to do, that's what I've been trying to get help with from the start. I can show you that I have been trying that from the very beginning. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what the things that you're saying, I already know. That's the thing, is that all you're doing is verifying for me that you're already aware that these are the bias. Because you're aware of the bias and you can identify the bias, it means
so does that comfort you, or does that make you more apprehensive?
It doesn't matter either way. The fact is, it makes you more knowledgeable. It makes you more capable of helping me because you understand.
Well, then some other things I've already thought of that I've been trying to get out are things that looking at people I know, like
One moment. I'm sorry I didn't come see you today. Starbucks was closed. Good to see you. I'll try to get there in the next couple of days if you're open. I literally walked all the way there from here and back today. Yes, ma'am. I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm pretending I feel okay. All right, now one of the things that needs to be mentioned is that the behaviors that were exhibited towards me, I tried to turn in my predators, and I was repeatedly told things were not illegal. And when I did them, magically they are. Yeah. So here's the thing. If the cops are going to tell me it's not illegal, I'm talking about the cops. The cops arrested me for things that they told me were not illegal. When I tried to turn in all of my predators for what they were doing, I was told it was not illegal to do those things. But when I did them, magically it's illegal.
But like you said, what it came down to was they kept you in jail so you weren't represented in court, and then it was dropped. If you're in jail and I can't get you out because I set your bond too high, I'm still going to show up at court representing you.
Exactly. And I also need you to have access to literally all of the evidence, which is here with me.
We'll make copies of that.
I've been trying to do that. That's what I was doing at Dallas's. The problem was that, the anxiety shutting me down and the fact that there's so much to do. There's a lot of evidence even yet to collect. If I was to I want to spam the shit out of your Facebook Messenger with all of the Natalie Bollinger stuff that has just been popping up just in the last year. You would look at that.
I'd much rather use my Gmail. That way I can categorize it and save it to a file easier. That way I have access to it quicker.
Well, I did start doing that, and that's the thing about when I was explaining the story about me trying to turn in Scott DaCosta. The first time that the sixth time that they had done this was on the 16th of December when I called the Nebraska State Patrol. Nebraska State Patrol told me I needed to call Dual County Sheriff's Department. I called Dual County Sheriff's Department. They told me they can't investigate themselves. I have to call the Nebraska State Patrol. Nebraska State Patrol told me it's not their job to police the police. I needed to call Dual County Sheriff's Department, so I called Dual County Sheriff's Department. This has been going on literally for years. And finally,
I would check out the law before I even made a phone call. Check out the legality of their accusation, because they can say anything they want.
I know, and that's the point.
Lie to your face.
You're trying to break it down. Don't break it down yet. Just listen. Scott DaCosta.
Can I tell you one other thing before, real quick?
Sure.
The other thoughts I've had is you got to also think about election timing.
I do.
Who's up for election? How a case like that would look. Good or bad for them.
That's Scott DaCosta, and the guy who's running against him is James Hammond.
A lawyer, literally a state attorney, take your case on something like this just to get a slam dunk easy in and out and make him look like a great guy to whatever community he's trying to appeal to. You know what I mean?
All right, well, we can talk strategy after you know what's going on. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Instead of keeping on breaking it down, everything that you're saying to me, it's all stuff that I'm already aware of or have already tried. Having somebody with me when I try it is what I need. But what I need that person to do first is to be informed. Now, I need you to understand that I'm going to send you the evidence of everything I'm telling you, but I need you to listen to the story instead of having to stop to OCD something else in. And I'm not trying to be rude by saying that. It's that I need to be able to explain
Oh, no, it's
it.
just the way my brain works,
I know.
so I don't forget it.
Anyway, Scott DaCosta, I was trying to turn him in, and I had a lady named Stephanie Mejia who was going to help me, and she was going to be on her way. Now, the thing is that it was taking her too long, and I had people like Wendell McPhee telling me, hey, Scott DaCosta is running around town telling people he's going to run you out of town, and they had already done so once before. Now, the lawyers want to change the wording to make that legal and say it's not illegal to want someone to leave town. Well, it is illegal to conspire to run someone out of town.
Push them out of town.
Exactly, which is what they did. And there are people in town, like Jace Jepson was a witness to a lot of situations, and I have him recorded on my YouTube channel.
See, I always kind of wondered if he wasn't, too.
What?
In
A
a
little
way
bit.
run out of town. By threats and stuff.
Oh, that was Big Jason. I'm talking about Jace, younger Jace. And Big Jason Jepson, he was good. Oh, little Jason? Actually, he was one of the people that was slandering me. He was run out of town after he tried to murder Ashley.
I don't care for him.
I don't either.
That's neither here nor there if you could back your story or something like that. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that can back my story, and there's also a lot of evidence that most of those people were threatened, harassed, and intimidated by the cops, including DaCosta. And your brother can verify that too.
Yeah, and all you have to do is get them required to come to court. I can't remember what that's called.
And that's the thing about dragging Dallas to court. You know I don't want to do that.
You just watch what you ask them.
Well, I know that part. You know, all I'm asking is for the truth. And, you know, a lot of his opinions, the great thing about his opinions is that they're just opinions, so they're not even admissible.
I was going to say, opinions aren't allowed in court, so you're good there.
They were. That's why I need your help. Opinions were allowed in court. Hearsay was allowed in court. Lies and slander were allowed in court. I was never allowed to
Yeah,
speak.
somebody should have stood up and said, objection, Your Honor, that's opinion.
They didn't care. We never made it to trial. None of them made it that far. All they were doing was trying to drag out the time for a statute of limitations. But because they have established a long-term history of doing this, it is still relevant. It is still legal due to the fact that they have literally run me out of town repeatedly and have repeatedly abused their position to do this. Yes, I can bring everything up all the way going back to the very first time that they dragged me to a hospital in 2017 over this. Yes, I was taken to the hospital in 2017 because they had bullied me. Natalie and her friends had bullied me to the point that I was suicidal.
Statute of limitations in Nebraska.
They're no. Ongoing.
I'm Googling it.
I know you're Googling it, but what we're talking about is ongoing. If they have been doing this, preventing me from turning them in for 5 years, and the statute of limitations is only 1 year, with an additional year with special circumstances, the fact is, if the last crime that they committed was less than a year ago, then I can bring all of it up because it shows that they have been preventing me from turning them in for 5 years. I've been trying for 5 years. I have the evidence.
What's great is if you show up here and they start harassing you.
They did. That's why I left. They chased, dude, one of those videos I sent you, they chased my little sister. I don't know if I can go back safely, Zach. That's why I want to show you the evidence.
I can pretty much guarantee your safety because I wouldn't let anything slide, trust me. I would document it.
And I've documented
I would get you your day in court one way or another.
Well, the biggest issue is that it's 6 years worth of it. And I've got 6 years worth of backlog to look into. And as far as the statute of limitations goes, the things that they did, it is obvious since they always drop the charges. It's pretty obvious that they were committing crimes when they locked me up, that they were trying to hide the crimes that I was trying to turn in. The fact that I spoke up about it before the fact goes to show that. When Scott DaCosta and State Trooper Lassen assaulted me on December 16th outside of Dallas's place, I was trying to turn in Scott DaCosta. And I was telling them that they needed to send me a state patrol officer because it was unsafe. Scott DaCosta has done this repeatedly. He did it while Dallas wasn't there. I was sitting there in that little dinky shed, and that's where I had to work from so that I don't disrupt Dallas if he's home, you know. And I was in that little shed. I paid my rent. I had my electricity out there. They told him not to let me use the internet and not to allow me access to electricity. I wouldn't be on the internet if I had help in real life. That's how it was from the very start. When you realize how public this has been, do what?
Something like that would be as simple as falling under a harassment and protection order.
I've filled out many of them. I turned them in the Dual County Courthouse. I turned them in where I was told to turn them in. I was told to turn them in to the Dual County Sheriff. Turns out they're supposed to go to the Clerk of the Courts.
No, it's supposed to go to the county clerk, not even the judge magistrate, not the sheriff.
No,
Mine says the county clerk.
The Clerk of the Courts, not the county clerk. It doesn't go to the county clerk. It goes.
Clerk.
Well, Joan Hanson, I have Joan Hanson recorded. She is the Clerk of the Courts, not the county clerk. The county clerk is Polly Olson. Joan Hanson told me.
Say that she didn't lie to you.
Well, I have it recorded on YouTube publicly.
Before too.
Do what?
What? I had to correct Polly once too about filing.
I'm not talking about correcting Polly. I'm talking.
When I filed my divorce paperwork, I gave it to Polly Olson. She looked at it. She said, this is in the wrong format. I said, this is not the wrong format. That is a legal format right there. It's the one I chose. Everything's correct and in order. She actually read
All right,
over
well,
it.
I'm trying to tell you about my situation, and you're
reading
going.
over it, and then she said, okay, yes, you are right. I'm sorry, Zach. That's the kind of effort I put into shit.
Scott DaCosta, I was arrested on the 16th. I was taken to the hospital. After that, Polly Olson drove the ambulance. They took me to the hospital. They lanced the boil on my butt. But the fact is, I was assaulted. I was trying to turn in Scott DaCosta for the crimes he had committed prior, and he and State Patrolman Lassen both assaulted me for trying to turn him in. It is illegal for them to do that. Everything in this is a conflict of interest, and you're going to notice that.
Well, I could have the paperwork filled out before you got here, and then you get here in 6 months, whenever you can make it, and if they show up, you know, wherever you are, all I have to do is turn in that paperwork, and if they say you need to leave town or whatever like that, I can, submit it.
I record it.